Nearly 5 years ago, January 2021, a hooded character planted bombs outside the DNC and RNC headquarters in Washington, D.C. Despite the most elaborate investigation in history into January 6, which was the next day, somehow, despite a $500,000 FBI reward, the Kabuki Theater manhunt for the pipe bomber went years unsolved. But that might be changing. Investigative journalist Steve Baker with Blaze Media claims a forensic analysis of a female former U.S. Capitol Police officer's gait is a 94 to 98% match of the unique stride of the long-sought J6 pipe bomb suspect, adding that this finding was confirmed by several high-level intelligence sources. A woman, a female Capitol Police officer. Baker says that female cop left the department in mid-2021, so just a few months later, for a security detail at the CIA. At this hour, no government agency has confirmed or denied this reporting. The FBI just telling us the investigation continues, not even touching our actual question about the specific officer. CIA called us back a number of times. They said they appreciated us reaching out, claimed they'd provide us with a statement. We have not gotten that yet. Capitol Police have not responded to us yet at all. Their former chief, though, is with us tonight. Stephen Sund was the Capitol Police chief on January 6, 2021, and it's good to have you on, sir. We're not naming this officer. We're not going to show her picture at this point. I want to start, though, with, do you believe that that is the person responsible for putting those two bombs down?
Again, Rob, thank you very much for having me on. Sure. And I am very well aware of Steve Baker's report. I've read it. Steve Baker, Joe Henneman put a lot of work into it. Again, I'm somebody that kind of works from facts, and that's kind of the way I've always been since January 6th, trying to put that out there. I would sure like to hear a statement, an official statement from one of the officials, either at FBI or DOJ. And I can tell you right now, nobody knows the impact that had on my safety and security on January 6th more than me. I know the resources I had to send to that. I know the impact it had to our overall security, and no one wants to see the pipe bomber identified more than I do. I'm just surprised that here we are 58 months later, and we still haven't gotten an official, some type of official acknowledgement or a suspect. You know, Kash Patel's been in place over there for 8 of those 58 months.
Yeah.
They've got great technology. They've got great resources and great investigators. I certainly think they'd be able to solve this case.
So you don't want to say whether or not you believe. I mean, we're not going to put her name and her identity on television, but it's out there now. And did you know that woman?
Yeah, I did know the officer, but I think, you know, as the former chief up there, without some supporting facts other than reading one person report, I just don't think it'd be appropriate for me to take one side or another. I'd like to hear more information. I'd like to get more facts. I think the American people want to hear more facts and want to get a definitive answer. Not, you know, it's interesting. Gait analysis has been around. They used it to identify Osama bin Laden. The FBI has that capability. You know, why are we hearing this from a reporter? Yeah, I want to hear some facts. So, you know, until I can get some facts, I really don't, you know, want to prejudge.
Do you think it's being leaked out from inside? I guess inside the Trump DOJ. Like, how do you think Baker got it? The reporter.
I really don't know. I think from what I understand, he brought in his own resources, his own capabilities to do the analysis. So I'm not getting the impression it got leaked out of the DOJ. But I would think the DOJ has significant information on who we may have as suspects.
Yeah, I would think so too. So we'll leave it there. We don't know, but it's obviously it's a captivating report, I would say. If this turns out to be the case, let's just imagine for a second that this is in fact who the bomber was. What does that mean about the truth and the reality of January 6th in your mind?
So let me say this, rather than answering hypotheticals. I've always said that whoever turns out to be the pipe bomber, regardless of this person or another, is going to put some puzzle pieces into place that I think are going to be critical, because I think this person is going to lead to other people that may be, you know, some of the masterminds behind this whole thing, what happened. Because as the chief, I was faced with depleted intelligence. The intelligence wasn't complete. It would have been nice to have complete. I denied resources in advance, denied resources only up until 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes before they broke the first one to the Capitol. So there's a lot of questions I've always had, but I think the identifying identity of the pipe bomber is going to be a huge puzzle piece for this.
Do you think, and I don't have much time left, but do you think that is there a scandal here in the people that they can't identify, or the people that didn't get charged in January 6th, people that we know were instigators that weren't charged? The fact that there's no identification of this person when obviously we have the technology to identify them. Do you feel that there's more to this that's being hidden from the American people?
Well, just the fact that we can't get answers gives that impression. So yeah, I do think there's more answers to get, and I do think there's more to this than we really know right now.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.